So he said, we need a secret code word for this. We can't announce that it's a land battleship. What can we call it? Well, we'll say it's a water tank. We'll just say it's a water tank. So tank came to, they started calling these things tanks. So a tank shows up in Camp Hope. George Patton and I were very curious about this machine. It was a Renault FT-17. We took that thing apart, bolt by bolt, nut by bolt, nut by nut, rivet by rivet. We looked at the engine, we looked at how it worked, the drivetrain. We figured out how this thing worked. George Patton went on over into World War I, armed himself with glory, leading his tanks into battle. I was stuck at home. Just as I was ready to go over November 1918, the war was over. So I never got to go over. Great regret. But after the war, both General Patton and me became great advocates for this new machine. We started writing articles. We said that this is the future of warfare. And if there's ever another war, then it won't fall into another trench stalemate because we'll have these machines. Well, the U.S. Army told us to cease and desist because there wasn't going to be any more wars, right? That was the war to end all wars. And we didn't want to be talking about things like tanks. We didn't want to be spending the money on it. Well, luckily enough, the U.S. got over that. The U.S. Army, and by the late 1930s, they were working on new machines like that. The M4A1 Sherman tank arrived just in time for America's entry into the Second World War, December 1941. Now that tank there, that is one of the great weapons of the war, one of the keys to victory. It takes a lot of flack, both literally and figuratively. If you get that joke, the German 88 is a flak gun, right? So it took a lot of that. And it gets attacked a lot because, well, the Sherman wasn't the equal of the Tiger.
Who's excited? I don't believe you. I said, who is excited to see a World War II tank in action? Let me hear it. There it is. Before we get started, I want to introduce our crew up front driving. Paul, if you can stand up. Paul, stand up. Stand up. Yeah, I'm going to get Paul. He's our driver right there. Give him away, Paul. That's our driver, Paul. He's been driving this tank for 15 years. Let him hear it. Over in the co-driver position, we got Will. He's waving to you from the front of the tank. He's the co-driver. So on long stints of driving, he and Paul switch places. That way they don't get tired driving the tank when I make them drive miles and miles and miles across Europe. He's also operating a 30 cal machine gun to help take care of infantry or any forward threats that we have and we see. Up here on the top deck with me, we have our gunner and our loader. First, our loader, Andy, right here. Andy, give him a wave. He'll be loading this giant cannon. That's a 75 millimeter cannon. He's got blank fire shells that he's gonna go prepare and get ready to give you a real good show. Right behind me is Jim. Jim's our gunner today, so he is going to take that cannon and he's going to point it at what I say to point it at, and then he's gonna press the button to make it go boom. Let me hear it if you want to hear the tank go boom. Let me hear it. Yeah, that's what I like. Okay. So let's get ready. We're going to load up here. We're going to load up our first shell. And as they're doing that, I'm going to introduce myself. My name's Andrew, and I'll be standing in as the tank commander. So I would be up here in the top spot of the tank, looking out, directing every one of these crew members to work as a team. I'd be telling Paul where to drive and where to point the tank, where to hide the tank, where to crest a hill to get a vantage point. And then also I'd be telling the gunning crew exactly where to put rounds down range. I'd tell the loader what type of round to use. I'd tell the gunner the distance and put him on target as best as possible. The challenge about being the commander, though, as I step into this tank here, is I'm up here. I'm now sitting on the commander's seat. Can you hear me?
No!
No.
Turn it on!
How about now? Check 1, 2.
No!
How about now?
No!
Check. 1, 2, there we go. Sorry about that. This is new technology for 1942. So I'm not used to using it. All right, we're getting this tank loaded up, which is great. Getting my seat put in place. Thank you. 1942. Our Sherman is as close to as built as possible from the factory. It's the only one in existence with very few modifications performed after it left the factory. The only modifications that can be observed are the additional front armor on the right of the turret, and we moved the siren, the horn down there. But that's it. Everything is almost as is from the factory, which is pretty neat. Our Sherman, as is all early pressed steel car Shermans, has a riveted lower hull, which was present until spring of '43, as the steel car company was using up the existing stock that they had. So it's pretty cool. If you look between the bogie wheels on the track and down below the tank, you can see that there's rivets along the hull. They changed that because those rivets, when they got shot at from the outside, became projectiles on the inside of the tank. As much as you don't want to be outside the tank during the battle, you don't want projectiles inside the tank during the battle, right? Let's see, what else is pretty cool? Large batches of early tanks were sent to either Fort Benning, Georgia, or the Desert Training Center in California, which all of our crew have been to. We often camp out there, and sometimes we find stuff in the desert that's still there from World War II. We've seen like shot up old Model T cars that were used as target practice. So it's pretty cool. That stuff's still out there in Desert Training Center. So our tank likely served at the Desert Training Center and was never sent overseas, which is why it's here in the States in such great condition we can still drive it around today. So we acquired this tank from Edwards Air Force Base in the late 1950s. It's been here at Plains of Fame ever since. What else we got? So this tank weighs 30 tons. Pretty cool, pretty heavy. And it has a speed, a ginormous, whopping, super fast speed of 24 miles an hour. Not bad, huh? You can barely make the speed limit in a residential area. Only if they would let us drive it in a residential area. That would be fun. Or terrifying. What else do we got? Oh, back here powering us is a Radial 975 Continental engine, giving us 400 horsepowers. And we're sucking up some gasoline down there, and about 175 gallons of it total we carry. That range will give us about 120 miles. A lot of gas, not a lot of range. I don't think I want this as my daily driver. You've already seen that we got a crew of 5, and you've seen our main armament, which is a 75 millimeter gun. Today we have the 30 down there, 30 cal machine gun. And then up top next to the main gun, we have a 30 cal coax machine gun. And then today I've mounted a 30 cal machine gun up here at my position. Sometimes it could be a 50, and they could use a 50 cal machine gun for anti-aircraft fire. But here with this 30, we can actually fire it and give you a full demonstration of the weapon systems on this tank, which is pretty cool. We carried about 90 rounds of 75 millimeter ammunition and about 4,000, 5,000 rounds of 30 cal ammunition, which is pretty cool. The armor thickness is about 3 inches on the turret, if we're lucky, and then it goes down from there. So not a whole lot of armor, but you gotta remember this is a medium tank. So when people are like, nah, the Sherman is not a very good tank because the German tanks were better, and they were bigger, and they were like destroying all the Sherman tanks. Well, those were heavy tanks going against a medium tank. So what we did is we just overproduced and overproduced. So we just kept throwing tanks at the enemy, and that's how we did our job. All right, raise your hand if that was too much talking. I agree. Why don't we shoot something? What do you say? All right, so my job again is to command the crew. So right now I'm commanding them to elevate the gun to a specified altitude. There we go. That is good. And then on my command, we will fire this gun. What do you say? All right. Gun up. Ready. Fire, fire, fire. Hey, what do you think? Woo! Not too shabby. All right, so let's get this tank in motion, shall we?
Oh, damn. A bunch of
forward, 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 right, right, right. Right, 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 right. Right, right, right.
Forward, right.
Back to the left, back to the left, back, 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 back. So you hear me making multiple commands. That's basically just so the driver can hear me. It's very, very loud, so I want to continue my commands and repeat them so there's no chance he won't hear what I'm saying. Stop, stop, stop. There we go. Look at it. What do you think of the Sherman driving around in a circle, huh? Nice. I think it's about time to put another round down range. Loader. Loader, give me high power armor piercing. Loader, armor piercing. Gun up. That's good. You ready? All right, here we go. Gunner, fire, fire, fire. Let me hear it. What do you think? All right. So I heard on a radio, got a transmission, there was supposed to be some spotter planes. So I don't see them yet, but I am focused on making sure this tank gets around here safely. So do me a favor. If you see some spotter planes flying up ahead to show us where the targets are, I need everybody to point up so I can see them. What do you say? Does that sound good? In the meantime, it looks like we have a bunker right over there, just in front of us to the right-hand side. That looks like Das German bunker-ness bunker. I think we should destroy it. What do you think? You don't sound excited for this tank to run over something. What do you say we run over that German bunker? All right, forward, 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 forward and right. To crush. There it is. this. Oh my goodness, this technology. All right, we got the spotter planes up above. Those L4 grasshoppers. I think just 2 of them. Looks like it. I wonder if one of them is Bazooka Charlie. You're gonna come down and help us out. Raise your hand if you know about Bazooka Charlie. Oh, just a few of you. Those that did not raise your hand, please do yourself a favor and look up Bazooka Charlie. You will not be disappointed. All right, do me a favor. If you have a stopwatch feature on any device that you have, time this. Let's see how fast my team can do this. They say they're really good, but I don't know. But they are my team, so I have a lot of faith in them. As soon as I give them a command, they are just going to rapid fire and load 3 rounds. I'm going to say fire for the first one, and I'm not going to say fire for the other 2. They're just going to knock them out as fast as possible. Are y'all ready to hear that? Yeah. All right, the team is ready. Here we go. And fire, fire, fire. Go, reload. Get it. Reload. Hey, what about that? Woo! Did anybody time it? How fast was that?
16 seconds!
Oh, 15 seconds? Higher or lower? 16 seconds. I'm hearing 16 seconds. All right. That's right. We'll get the official tally later. That was amazing. All right. Let's see what else we got. Sorry, just checking with the team. All right. So what I want to do for this one. All right, this is the plan. We're going to try to get all guns going at the same time for this next shot. All right, so we've got a 30 cal down below, we've got a 30 cal coax machine gun, we have the 75 millimeter, and I got my 30 up here. The goal is to get all of them going at the same time. Pretty cool, all right? Let's see if we can do it. And fire, fire, fire! Hey, what do you think of that? Not too shabby, huh? Here we go. This will be our last shot, ladies and gentlemen. Who's excited for the last shot? All right, so I've been commanding this entire time, and as much as I love it, I want to give all of you the opportunity to command this Sherman tank from World War II. So, you've heard me say the code word for when I want this main gun to go off. Raise your hand if you remember what it was I was saying. And how many times was I saying it? 3. Excellent. So on the count of 3, you're going to say that word 3 times, and on the 3rd time, this main cannon's going to fire. I'm not going to say that word out loud because then it'll fire. We don't want that just yet.
On the way.
All right, now's your chance to become a World War II tank commander. On the count of 3, hit that word. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That's right, that was the loudest shot that we had today. What do you think about that? All right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, do not leave. We have a very special treat for you. Hold on just a sec. Do not leave. This will be really cool. Paul, go ahead and shut down. Go ahead and shut down and stand up. If I can have Cindy and Tom and other Tom and General Eisenhower, we can all take the field.
Kind of see inside the tank through the barrel.
Oh yeah.
Turn it off. Turn it off. Gun down. So we're just getting set here. But I don't know if you all remember. At the beginning of this, I introduced our driver, Paul. Paul's been driving this thing, been muscling this thing for 15 years. Give him a round of applause as he climbs out. But don't look at him too closely as he climbs out. He might get embarrassed.
Hang
on a second. That's all right. Take your time.
No, leg was cramping. That's what stepping on that clutch. Suck it in. I forgot about what this is like when it's over your head going off.
It's a little loud. All right, as Paul's climbing out, I'm going to hand this over to Cindy. Cindy, take it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks everybody for sticking around. This is a very special moment. So, the driver is actually my husband. And he came up through the ranks, just like every single one of us. He's held every position in the tank. And for the last... Okay, that's fair. You've done that a couple times too. But for the last 15 years, he has been our primary driver. He's done a ton of shows, the air show, wings, tracks, and wheels. We are so sad, and yet I'm happy, sorry, to see him stepping down as our primary driver. And no, you are welcome anytime to drive our tank. Tom, did you want to say anything?
Paul and I have been a crew for, like you said, about the same amount of time. I've been tank commander for about 15 years, and Paul is the driver, and we have done a lot of neat stuff. We have fought battles against real German tanks. We fought battles against trees, right? And all kinds of neat stuff we've done. It's just been amazing.
Downtown LA.
Downtown LA, yeah, exactly. The things we've got to do with this vehicle, and because of Planes of Fame, it's just been amazing to be able to do this, to think that, hey, I'm gonna go drive a World War II Sherman tank today. It's a pretty awesome thing. So I've just been blessed to be able to do this, blessed with all these guys, especially Paul. So thank you, Paul.
And with that, you know, I work as a professional, and when you retire, you get the gold watch. We're motor pool. We don't need a gold watch. So Paul, Tom and I want to present you with the Golden Tank Award.
And Paul, let me add one more thing. As a valorous commander of this tank in every campaign, I hereby promote you to brevet lieutenant.
Got it right. around. Get the crew around here. We'll get a group shot. Tom.
Ian. Should I get down?
No.
Sit right there. Sit right there.